Hi folks, it's Oliver here from Farm Compare, and I've been joined by Mal Hughes from Biome Connect. Hey Mal, thanks for taking the time out to speak with us. Tell us a wee bit more, for those who haven't come across Biome Connect before, tell us a wee bit about the business.
Again, we focus a lot on soil health and farm efficiencies. It's really about trying to meet the environmental needs while still remaining productive.
And that's becoming the buzzwords at the minute, protecting the environment, the very thing that keeps us all.
Yeah.
And product-wise, where are we aiming with this, with Biome Connect?
Well, there's a range of products that can save energy within the farming system, the likes of your slurry additives or your silage additives here. Even the likes of the benefit of using the Volcamin powder on your bedding, your cubicle bedding. It's not as coarse on the animals from an environmental point of view, but also from a teat care point of view. It's not as harsh on the animal. A lot of benefits with that.
So a lot of it's to look after the soils and also the animals.
Yeah.
So it ties it all together.
Yeah.
And I know you also provide some services to the farming community.
Yeah,
What's involved there, Mal?
we do a lot of silage analysis and soil analysis as well. Probably one of the main things that's on the agenda at the minute is nitrogen and what's going on within that. We do a really good product which is Efficient 28, and it has both environmental positives and also production positives as well.
Yeah.
That can help drive yield but also meet your environmental needs.
So it's test to see what's there, what the problems are first, then supply the product to rectify any problems that you find.
Yeah, that's right. We have Ciara and Andrew with us today, so Andrew can speak on conserving energy within the farming system, and I'll also introduce you to Ciara, who can speak about our foliar fertiliser range.
Great stuff.
That has huge environmental benefits to it.
Brilliant. Look, we'll welcome the guys in a wee second, and thanks very much for your time, Mal.
No, well, thank you.
Be joined by Carl here from the Agriton Group, and Carl supplies agri-vital products and professional service and advice to Biome Connect. Carl, firstly, thanks very much for joining.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Tell us a wee bit about the products and the service that you provide to Biome Connect, please.
Yep, so my specialism really is the arable side, largely on the sort of like the broadacre crops, so maize, wheat, I think barley, etc. And we're just starting to branch into grass. We're learning a lot more through Biome Connect. We're doing a lot of trial work with them on grass, so we're learning a lot about how we can use our products in grass. But we also have vegetables and potatoes and onions and so forth. So yeah, we have a whole range of products.
Anything with a leaf, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that's green with a leaf will.
And the product, the foliar fertiliser, tell us a wee bit more about that.
Well, our key product is it's Efficient 28.
Yes.
And the way that works, it's a urea polymer. So it's a long chain of urea units. And what happens is you spray that with a conventional sprayer, so you can go in with a blight spray or any fungicide spray that you're putting on. And what happens, anything that has a leaf and it's got enough leaf to spray, you can use any of our foliar fertilisers. So Efficient, for example, as I was saying, it's a polymer of urea units. So it comes in contact with the leaf, it sticks really well. It goes straight into the leaf, so you've got almost 100% uptake, and it's a phased release.
Yes.
So whereas with some granular fertilisers that are nitrate based, you get a flush of growth where the plant is actually taking in a lot of water, and the reason it's doing that is because the nitrate concentrations are quite toxic, and so you get a lot of water in the plant showing up as that flush.
Yes.
But the plant is actually quite soft and it's vulnerable to insects and disease. So you get a lot more tempered response from the Efficient 28.
Yeah, and quantity-wise with your product against the conventional product?
Yeah, so we recommend a rate of 20 litres per hectare. So that's 25 kilograms of product, which will give you 7 kilograms of nitrogen.
Yes.
Now that doesn't sound a lot, but because you're putting it exactly where it has to go at the right time, just when the plant needs it, you're getting such an efficient rate that will do the work of 40 kilograms of a granular nitrogen.
Great.
So 25 kilograms of that sprayed on at 20 litres per hectare, that will do the same work as 116 kilograms of ammonium nitrate.
Yeah.
So it's just that efficient.
Leaching and things like that with your product is all absorbed.
Yeah, so because you're putting it straight onto the leaf and it's all taken up, you're not affecting the soil in any way. So you're not disrupting the microbiome.
Yeah.
You're not having the effect that a granular inorganic fertilizer would have. You're not going to get leaching. You don't get any volatilization that you would with urea. So that's why it's so effective.
Correct.
It's just going straight in and it's just doing its job.
So we're doing a bit for the environment as
Absolutely.
we're going along.
Yeah.
It's increasing
Yeah.
productivity. It's a win-win situation.
It is, and also the carbon footprint, because you're using smaller amounts, you're reducing the carbon footprint. So whereas you're using 116 kilos of ammonium nitrate, you're only using 25 of the efficient 28, you're reducing your carbon footprint so dramatically. It really is incredible.
And with the eyes of the world on agriculture and horticulture now, we need to be doing our bit.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we have the access to the land, and that's where it all takes place.
Yeah.
So we're looking after Mother Nature, and hopefully Mother Nature will look after us.
We've got to start with the soil. We've got to protect the soil, and we can help in that transition. We've got those starting steps for people.
Yeah.
The idea is you use a lot less to do the same or more, and that's what it's all about for us.
Brilliant stuff. Look, Charles, thank you very much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Hi folks, I've been joined by Andrew here from the Agriton Group. Andrew, firstly, thanks very much for taking the time out to speak with us. Tell us a wee bit about Agriton and the relationship you have with Biome Connect.
So we first encountered Biome Connect and Malachi Hughes sort of 12 months ago, who was interested in looking at ways in which he could utilise his on-farm resources. So he was looking at reducing his inputs, mainly fertiliser inputs, ammonium nitrate, CAN for example, and he obviously had an awful lot of farmyard manure waste available to him on farm. He also had a few chicken farms nearby,
Yes.
and he was looking at recycling that up, adding value to the FYM and creating a product then that would benefit his soil and ultimately his crops and farm profitability. And that was where the conversation started, and it's expanded since. He's now adopted the full range of products, and he likes them so much. He's used them, liked them, tried them, and he thinks that other farmers in and around both Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland and adds value and wants to share the word and spread the word to them.
Yeah, and one of the products, or one of the systems, is the Bokashi system, and we have been on farm with Malachi and seen the system working.
Yeah.
Quite an unusual thing for ensiling farmyard manure, but it goes back to the housing of the animals when you introduce the product. What products can be introduced at the housing stage of the process?
So during the house period, bringing animals into any housing environment, whether it's cattle, sheep, poultry, pigs, you're increasing the disease pressures within that shed. We all know that's the case. Pneumonia cases very, very rarely happen when they're out in the field, but as soon as you bring animals inside, that pressure increases on them. So adding microorganisms into that environment is nature's way of limiting and reducing the effects of these potential harmful pathogens.
Yes.
So what we do is we add the microorganisms to the bedding once a week. So if you know that you're putting in 1 ton of straw into a shed a week, you can add 2 litres of microbes per week onto the bedding. You can spray it around the sheds, onto the walls, onto the animals themselves. And what those microorganisms do then is outcompete any potential pathogens, but they also start breaking apart and fermenting the organic matter within the the bedding material. Obviously, animals come along and trample on this bedding. They create an anaerobic environment which allows those microorganisms to start fermenting. And fermentation is nothing more than a breakdown of organic manures or complex organic structures into its constituent parts. And it's something that farmers are already doing on farm. Any farmer that's making silage, for example, is fermenting grass.
Yes.
All we're doing is fermenting the organic manures to end up with a better product that we can apply onto the soils and add value further down the chain.
Yeah, and farmyard manure traditionally can be seen as a bit of a pain on farms, stockpiling it, waiting a year for it to rot down a little bit. But the process for the bokashi already starts in the house. It's starting to work in-house, then we ensile it. And how long does it take from ensiling till it's ready to be spread on land?
So 8 weeks is all that's needed. As soon as you take the manure out of that shed, what you want to do is ensile it like you say, leave it 8 weeks, don't turn it, don't do anything with it, literally just leave it. Resist the temptation to have a sneaky peek.
Yes.
And then in 8 weeks time you've got a product that's been fully digested, and when I say digested I mean the microorganisms have broken it down to the point where the structure's been compromised. By the time it goes through the back of the dung spreader and onto the soil, you could quite easily apply the fermented organic manures onto the soil between grazings, for example.
Yes.
So if you've got a 25-day, 30-day grazing rotation, you could go in the day after the cows come out, follow it with a light application of maybe 8 tonnes per hectare of organic manures to obviously provide the nutrients needed for the next crop of grass.
Yeah.
Which is huge when we're looking at fertilizer prices increasing significantly at the moment.
Absolutely.
We call farmyard manure a waste product, but it's not waste.
Yeah.
Just because we call it waste doesn't mean to say we have to treat it as such.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do: make the most of on-farm resources.
So we kind of have to work with it, with your products, with the natural product in this natural environment. Just enhance it and bring it to the land quicker. And I know that you have a massive range of products. We're not going to get through them all today, but folks, look at the full range is available to view on Farm Compare, and we can connect you with Biome Connect, who has the expertise to give you the advice that you need. So thanks very much for listening, folks, and thanks very much for taking the time on.
Pleasure, appreciate it.
As it goes straight